Hello and welcome to the video, Rivermen fans and any SPHL fans that happen to be watching as well. Thank you for watching as always. It's much appreciated. But in this video that I'm doing today, I'm only going to be talking about the Rivermen, and I'm talking Rivermen goaltending in this video. I did put out one video already on this subject a while ago, and at the time I did that video, only Jack Bosted was signed. He was a very early signing, not just the first goalie signed, but like the first Riverman that was signed was Jack Bosted. And I put out a video then on who I think might be joining him on the team. And we have a second goalie that's signed, which is Nick Latinovic. So that's why I decided to put out another video. We're going to talk about what that could possibly mean now that we have Nick Latinovic and Jack Bosted both signed to the Rivermen. So that could mean everything, or it could mean nothing at all. And we're going to discuss that here in this video and some possibilities we could see. Keep in mind, I don't work for the league. I don't work for the Rivermen. I'm not privy to special info. You know, any info that I've ever gotten, you know, I just happen to have gotten it. It's not like I necessarily go fishing for it. But, you know, we're gonna talk about it, and I'll give you my thoughts on what this could possibly mean. Like I said, we have signed Nick Latinovic and Jack Bosted, which obviously leaves Colby Muse, the odd man, out for now. Does that mean 100% that Colby Muse will not be playing for the Rivermen? You can't say that. No, it doesn't. It looks like it takes the chances down. That's for sure. But again, you know, it's pure speculation at this point. I stated then, and it's still true today, that you know, Nick wanted to come back. He wanted to play for Rivermen. He's turned down money offers in the Feds. It's not about money for him. He has specifically stated he wants one more year with the Rivermen to compete and possibly win another ring. More than likely after that, he's going to hang it up. Again, that's not 1,000%, but it's the most likely scenario. Like I said, Jack Bosted, he was signed super early. Like I said, one of the first players to be signed, and I think that speaks volumes. Considering he was third on the depth chart at the end of the season, and it was Nick Latinovic and Colby Muse heading into the playoffs and the last few weeks of the season. So I think that Jack Bosted really impressed the Rivermen organization and coaching staff, obviously that being Jean-Guy Trudel and Eric Levine. And in an interview he did with Jason Ruff, Eric Levine expressed great want and joy working with Jack and helping develop his skills along, and he's very excited to work with him. And like I've stated before, Nick Latinovic, he wants to be a Riverman. I think he wants to end his professional career with the Rivermen. And he would like to go out with one more full season, I'm sure. So, again, what's that mean for Colby Muse? If Colby Muse isn't signed, he was protected by the Rivermen. He's not going to be playing anywhere else in the SPHL. I don't think he's going to go down to the Feds and play for them either. So if you do not see Colby Muse in a Rivermen uniform, I think the most likely scenarios is he starts out in the ECHL or goes overseas. And if he starts out in the ECHL, or even if he does go overseas, that doesn't mean we won't see Colby Muse at all. I mean, like I said, we still have his rights. If he starts over there and say he's cut or wants to return, you know, that is a possibility that could happen. Now, if Colby Muse does get signed, that means we'll have 3 goaltenders signed heading into camp. That's not that unusual. It really isn't. Some teams do that. Rivermen have done that before. Just last year, not only like heading into camp, but heading into the season, we had 3 goalies on our roster with Colby Muse, Mason Beaupitt, and Troy Coburn. We ended up letting go of Mason Beaupitt, who ended up in Fayetteville. But at the start of the year, we had 3 goalies on our rosters, and all 3 goalies played at least 1 game before it was dwindled down to only 2 goalies. So, I mean, could Rivermen go into the season with 3 goalies on their roster again? Who knows? My personal gut feeling on this is if we sign Colby Muse, I think that kind of makes Nick Latinovich the odd man out. It doesn't look good for him to stay if we decide to only go with 2 goalies for the year, which would be the most likely scenario. The reason I say that, and trust me, I hate saying that about Nick Latinovich. I've got nothing but respect and gratitude for that man. I do not like saying that about him because he's one of my favorite goalies I've watched in this league. And I just have so much respect and admiration for Nick Latinovich. Saying he's the odd man out to go when he wants to be here, it hurts. It sucks to say that. It really does, because I am such a huge fan of his and enjoy watching him play. But I don't think Jack Bosted would be the odd man out, just because of how much he impressed the Rivermen organization and coaching staff, what they've said about him, and how quickly they signed Jack Bosted. I think that speaks volumes to what they think of the kid. So, in my mind, it would be highly unlikely to see Jack Bosted like cut or waived from the Rivermen, given all the info about him leading up to his signing and being one of the first Rivermen signed. Like I said, it wasn't Colby Muse who was protected, the only goalie protected by the Rivermen. It wasn't Nick Latinovich who expressed how much he wants to return to the Rivermen and finish his career here. It was Jack Bosted who was the first goalie to be signed. So again, I think that says a lot about the kid and what the Rivermen think about him. And so it's hard to imagine that if Colby Muse signs, that Jack Bosted would be the one to go. It's just, we got a problem. That's a great problem to have, in that we have 3 number 1 goalies with Colby Muse, Nick Latinovich, and Jack Bosted. If they all 3 decide to sign with the Rivermen heading into the season, most likely one of those guys is going to go. And it's just, you don't want to see, as a fan, Rivermen supporter, you don't want to see any of them go. There's not one of them I want to see leave the team. I want all 3 to stay. Damn sure don't want to see them on another SPHL team. I can tell you that. If they go up in the E or overseas or get a better payday, I mean, so be it. But I definitely don't want to see him on another SPHL team, which would happen if we waived one of them. At least they would get claimed by another SPHL team. So that is the last thing I want to see happen with any of the three we're talking about. So I hope it doesn't come to that, because, like I said, we'd be giving up somebody great. And the less likely, or the most likely, if I can talk, the least likely to burn us if we did waive them would be Nick Latinovic, because, like I said, after this season he's likely to retire. But if you look at it from Colby Mew's standpoint, if he does come back and give us a full season, that might be his last season as a Riverman, and he moves on to ECHL or another league, depending on how well he plays. And given how he's played in the past, I don't expect him to be any worse. That's for sure. If anything, he's only going to get better, and that's the scary part about Colby Mews. That's how good he could potentially be, is, you know, he can only get better. So, yeah, I've expressed in the last video, if it came down to it and we could only have 2 of the 3, strictly, you know, as a business decision, what's best for the Rivermen organization, it would be Colby Mews and Jack Boston. Again, my heart and my fandom says keep all 3. Don't give up any of them. But like I said, that is taking away a roster spot from an extra player, having 3 goaltenders on the roster. So that's why it's unlikely, because the rosters aren't as deep as other leagues. So it's just not likely to happen. So we'll have to see. I mean, Colby Mews was protected by the Rivermen, so you got to imagine if he wants to come back and play for the Rivermen, he's going to be welcome back to play. Otherwise, why protect him? So with that being said, like I said, unfortunately to me, that still leaves Nick Latinovic as the man most likely to not be a Riverman if Colby Mews signs. All this being said, I think it's pretty evident that I have confidence in all 3 goalies to be competitive and give us a chance to win, rather that's in the season or even the playoffs. Any combo of the 3, it doesn't matter the combo. I'm confident in whoever has those 2 roster spots, and who's ever playing at net that night. I'm fully confident in us winning. When Nick did come back and play for us last year, the games he played were not bad at all. They were pretty good. And he was coming off an injury, hadn't played in a while, and I don't even think he was fully recovered from that injury, and he still played pretty damn good for a goalie that hasn't played in a while, coming off an injury. And the only game he lost, the only games he lost was the 2 versus Evansville. So, in the playoffs. Those were the only games Tino lost. And it's not like those games were on him. 2-0 in Peoria and 2-1 in Evansville. So, Nick Latinovic gave us a chance to win both games, and it just didn't happen. And unfortunately, you know, Colby Mews didn't get a chance because he was battling an illness heading into the playoffs. All 3 goalies were battling something heading into the playoffs. Colby Mews was recovering from a bad illness. Nick Latinovic was recovering from a bad injury that I don't think he was even fully recovered from. And Jack Boston was on long-term IR heading into the playoffs as well. So, I mean, it just wasn't a good scenario for the Rivermen, given that the injuries we had and everything. I mean, we did damn good to get out of the first round. if we stay healthy, that's a different story, different outcome in my opinion, but that's not what happened. But I do look forward to this upcoming season, no matter who's at net for us. Rather it's Colby Muse and Jack Bosted, Nick Latinovich and Jack Bosted. It doesn't matter. Colby Muse and Nick Latinovich. Like I said, the combination doesn't matter to me. I know we got that net locked down. We got a good battery back there, 1 and 2. Not worried at all as far as that position goes. So we'll have to see what Colby Muse wants to do. If he does end up coming to the SPHL this year and giving the Rivermen another season, or he decides to try his luck elsewhere. If he does, I wish him nothing but the best, and I have all the confidence in the world in Tino and Boston to give us a great season and keep us competitive all year. If Colby Muse does come back and decides to play for the Rivermen and signs, I'll definitely be interested in what Trudell has up his sleeve as far as, you know, picking who he wants to stay with the Rivermen throughout the season. It's definitely going to be interesting. Rivermen always keep it interesting. And also I want to say, you know, just some great signings that I'm looking forward to watching, with getting Zachary Purcell and Michael Ferrandino. Those were outstanding signings. I am so excited to watch these guys play with us for a full season. High praise for Michael Ferrandino. He has the potential to be the best defender on our team and one of the premier defenders of the SPHL. That kid is very talented on the defensive side of the puck. And Zachary Purcell has a lot of game-changing potential as well, lighting the lamp. He knows where to be on the ice. He's an offensive threat with the puck and without the puck. So I look forward to watching those two with the Rivermen. I think both are considered a rookie heading into the year. I know Purcell is, but I'm not sure about Ferrandino if he'll still be considered a rookie. But I'm very excited to watch those guys play with the Rivermen, and I'm just excited for the season. I can't wait till October 17th gets here and we get this thing underway. I can't wait to see what the final rosters look like and what the goaltender situation looks like heading into the season. It's going to be exciting for sure. So with that, I'll go ahead and wrap it up. I'll catch you at the next puck drop, and I always keep it Rivermen style.